My name is Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com and a host on the Rinse Radio Network. In just a few weeks, Congress will be coming back into session, and one of the very first things they're going to do is increase the debt ceiling by $1.2 trillion. It's almost a foregone conclusion. Part of the structured deal 4.5 months ago. Since that time, they've already spent $900 billion, throwing us that much further into debt. But in that deal, they were going to raise the second tranche, $1.2 trillion. And of course they're going to do it because it kicks the can down the road to after the 2012 election. This is the main function of the United States government at this point: to enslave this nation further in debt in order to continue to wage wars around this planet. We've been fighting the longest military engagement in the history of this nation inside of Afghanistan. For over a decade, we've been in that country. In fact, a lot of the kids fighting in this war were 6 or 8 years old when we invaded this nation. So when a story comes out today, a story comes out showing United States Marines urinating, desecrating the bodies of dead Afghan insurgents, it's absolutely disgusting and shocking. And without a doubt, it will lead to more United States soldiers being killed, generating more anger and more hostility towards the United States in the West. And what will the response from Washington, D.C. be? Well, there'll probably be something like Abu Ghraib. Well, they'll hold a few privates or maybe even a few sergeants on trial, throw them in jail. But no one will be looking at the real reasons why this occurred. It isn't because we've dumbed down a nation for the last decade. We've desensitized a whole entire generation of youth to believe that our mission is to be over there killing them so they don't come over here and take our rights. That mantra will continue on. In fact, we see it continuing on. Over the last few days, the mainstream media dragging out people like John Bolton, former UN ambassador for the United States, declaring that if we don't preemptively strike Iran or support a preemptive strike against Iran, then we will have to face them in the future, and when we invade them then, we could have a nuclear retaliation. Oliver North, of all people, comes out blaming the Obama administration for allowing the Iranians to achieve a nuclear capacity. So we're seeing the same arguments, the exact same people, the same arguments, the same fear tactics that were implemented onto this country to invade Iraq. We have a nation in the Middle East who's developing weapons of mass destruction, and we must go in there and preemptively take them out, or it will end life as we know it. They will come over here and take our rights. Forget about the fact that in the last decade in this country, you have lost more rights than the entire history of this nation combined. A complete and total destruction of your liberty inside the Constitution. And in fact, the latest document, the NDAA 2012, that the president signed on New Year's while people were celebrating the New Year holiday, not only can it let the United States government deem you an enemy of the state just because you do something belligerent that could be considered a hostile act against the government, black bag you, take you off to some Gitmo or some other type of undisclosed location where you can be dealt with. This is a destruction of your constitutional rights, unlike anything we've seen since the Patriot Act. In this same legislation, it clears the way to start World War III with Iran, instigating an attack on the Iranian central banking system that Europe quickly jumped on board, causing the Iranians to threaten the Straits of Hormuz. And now we see rhetoric nonstop about Iran. We are being led into a meat grinder where more U.S. blood and U.S. treasure can be spent for the benefit of a very select few. It's time to wake up, America, and realize the answer isn't blaming the enlisted. The answer isn't pretending that Al-Qaeda is coming to take our rights. The answer is to stop these illegal wars, to bring our troops home, and declare an end to this hostility, and declare an end to the bankster elite rule. Stories are attached. That's all I got.